Okay, hi, how's it going? Right, back to recording again. So I'm going to unhide all, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this part here and this part here. I don't really need the little guy in at the moment, and I'm going to hide unselected. Now, what I want to do is pull this part over here, and this part's kind of like, I don't know, it's like an exterior buttressing without any buttresses, which is a bit weird. So I kind of follow the design philosophy they have for that to a degree. First things first, I'm just going to apply my ambient occlusion map to it. And then I'm going to select here and do a ring and a connect and put in two segments. Now I'm going to do a quick ring here and do one segment. Now I'm going to go to here and to here and do another segment. Now top viewport. What I'm going to do to save myself a hell of a lot of time is get rid of that. Now I only have to work on this part because it's all replicated straight across, all the way across the board on this one. Okay, now I'm going to go in here, here, here and here, and yeah, here as well. Yeah, that's good shape. And what I'm going to do is do an inset by about, right there, 0.7. Okay, now if I delete these polygons, what I'm going to do here is select the inside ring, do a control select by edge, and then just deselect that part there. Okay, that worked quite well. Now I'll use a shift and drag, and we can see I don't want these either, so I'll get rid of that and that. Okay, just check down here. Do it again. Shift and drag. Okay, so move this along to here, and then get my left viewport, just to kind of line this up a bit. There we are. Notice I did a control select by vert there. Okay, control A and click weld. And let's just increase our verts a little bit. Right, sorry, increase our weld a little bit, not verts. Okay, now I'm going to cap out this middle part. And I don't need to worry too much about joining up the lines in the middle by doing cuts, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an inset, which will deal with some of my problems anyway, make that about 0.45, and then I'm going to extrude it by group 0, and I can now bring this forward to about there. And this is going to give us room to do our cunning designs and refine this and make a good shape from it. Okay, now before I go any further, I'm going to bring this right forward, and now I'll do my cuts. You'll notice the cursor's changing shape when I get to these points here, just so that we know where the vert on the other side is. Useful little feature of cut, that is. Okay, now let's push these back in. Right, next, let's refine this a little bit more. We're not going to hit the tessellate button. I know some people go, ooh, refine, hit tessellate. That's got its uses, but not in this kind of circumstance. So, through here, we want a real kind of sense of control for this. Do a quick connect. There. Alright. Now the area I want to bring out round about here. Okay. And I want to flatten this area out, so I'll just use Control R. Yep, that's good. Now what I want to do is get some control over these pieces. I want to kind of bring this in a bit more like that. Like that. You notice the kind of control we get now by doing this. I mean, we're working in low polygon at the moment, we haven't started detailing it up, but we really get a lot of control doing things this way. Okay, let's add another level of, not iterations, but another level of division up here. Just do another connect. This will allow us to Start pulling in this shape here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that down a bit and pull this up a bit like that. Okay, not bad. Now bring that in. You notice I'm kind of scooting around my model constantly. It's funny, I've actually seen ZBrush users who do the same kind of thing all the time. They're always scooting around their model, trying to get angles right, especially when they're looking at, physiology. But you should have the same care and attention for mechanical things. Because once you get used to mechanical modeling, you're going to be able to pick out the faults, a lot easier in your own models and in other people's models than you actually ever thought you would. Okay, that's not bad. Now, let's put a ring through here. Over that, let's do a connect. Actually, I'll not put a connect through there. It's going down too far. Let's put it through here instead. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's going to give us a little bit more control over this shape now. Remember what I said in the previous part, it's all about kind of mixing the curves with the straight edges when you're doing this kind of mechanical modeling. Really trying to get your perfect shape where you can. Okay, that's fine. Now, remember what I said about FFDs and how I tend to use them in certain circumstances. And this will be a useful place to use an FFD. Just click ignore backface in there. So, what I'm going to do is just prep the area first, more or less. And I want to bring this in a little bit, so go to my FFD 3x3x3 and just click there. I want to grab this part and this part. Just go to my scale tool and just bring those in a little, like that. There, that's better. Right, now you see that edge there, if we just move that forward a little bit, and that one. Okay, that gives us a good shape. Just bring that in a scale. Actually, no, it's not that part we need, it's this part. I want to bring both in. There. That's better, and a much nicer shape too. Okay, now, what I want to do is straighten up these verts here, sorry, these edges here, keep calling them verts. And click that and there, just scale them. And again. And let's just look at this one. It's coming a little bit too much, so let's just straighten that out there a little bit. Pull this one in just a tiny bit. And this one. There we are. Alright. And what I want to do here, to kind of break up this shape a bit more again. I'm going to go through here and do a connect. And now, I'm going to do an inset just here by about 0.5. Then on this one I'll do the same inset. And what I'm going to do here is just do a small extrude. And I'm just going to go there and do a quick ring and a connect. Now, start to shape this piece a little bit. Okay. Now in here, bring this straight back in. Into our scale. It's going to look a lot better if you kind of scale it a little bit on these axes. Just bring them up a little bit like that. Okay, that's good. Okay, again I'm looking at this shape. Now what I want to do here is I'm kind of looking at these shapes, trying to find the best way of cutting through. Because what I want to do here, kind of pirate this edge using a cut. There to there, and there to there. Now, I'm going to take out this edge, backspace, and another one there, and bring this part back. So, what I'm going to do is go through here and here simultaneously, do a connect, and let's just see if the slide's going to work simultaneously for us. And it is, that's good. Up a little bit more. Click OK. Now I can do a cut. Just checking my verts, make sure I haven't got any dead ones lying around. It's best to, because when you start doing things like, you know, your various operations like an extrude or an inset or whatever, it can really bugger up your model if you're not careful. Okay, grab this part, and what I'm going to do here, in fact, is not use that one at the same time, and I'm going to extrude these out by local. Now if you look at them on negative by mistake, let's go to there. Now they're on positive, click apply, and then do that one. Okay, that gives us this kind of collar. Got my left viewport and zoom. Now we can straighten it. And the good thing is that we have control over it this time, unlike when we've done it before, where we've kind of used an extrude all the way around and allowed ourselves to be at the mercy of, unfortunately, the local normal extrude, where we have to do a lot of corner tidying, which makes my poor brain go into extremely messed up mode if I'm not careful. Okay, now I want to add an element of curvature down the middle of this. So I'm going to do a connect. No, not. You never do a single line connect because it didn't connect to anything. Just do a ring, then a connect. And before I do, let's change this to 0. Right, don't just pull it out. It's going to look silly if you do. Just do it a little piece at a time. There we are. See, at the bottom we don't want to have too much of this. So what I want to do is just bring this vert in. And these verts too. Like that. Okay, and you can see now that changes the shape and the whole way that this thing's kind of working all together. Okay, next. What I'm going to do, grab this edge to here to here. I'm going to do a connect. And let's change my slide to 75. Minus 75. Now, I only want this one. There we go, now this one. Okay, that gives us this part in the middle. Now, select here, do a, not a loop, ring. Do a connect times 2, the slide of 0. Now what I'm going to do, select here, 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 and here, which gives this funky H sign. Inset it by 0.5 and then do an extrude by size 0. And then just sink that in like that. Okay, just check out our model again. You've probably noticed, by the way, that I haven't been using many chamfers. It's simply because, you know, I'm going to use something like edge checks to do it all for me. Such a good application. Okay, that's working well. Now, up here then. And this is where we're going to kind of expand this off. So, press F4. Make sure this is up high enough before it breaks the bounding box. There. Right, first things first, let's just extrude it straight up. Okay, have a look at the height, because I'm going to take it straight to the height that we need, and then I'm going to add some refines to it and kind of go from there. So we're going to do 2 connects down the middle. Okay, and that's going to give me these polygons here, kind of leaning over towards the middle, like that. These polygons here are going to kind of come up to about here to support them. When you think to yourself, ew, that's a bit wonky, Circus, but don't worry, we'll refine it as we go along. We're going to do internal buttressing down here as well, but we'll come to that in a minute. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is kind of work out our shape. Let's go from here, and I'm going to come in. I just look at my shape, bring that into about there, like that. Now I've got plenty of room to add 2 more refines. So I'll take this one here, and on this side, I'll use this one and this one to start this kind of inside arch here. By the way, I do hope you're kind of having fun. If you're following along one step at a time, you know, I really hope, not that you're copying mine exactly, because you really want to be kind of learning and doing your own stuff and coming up with your own designs. But if you are copying my stuff exactly, that's fine too. I'm not going to complain, certainly. But, you know, have fun, enjoy yourself. That's what it's about. Okay, just bring this shape here. Really just looking at refining this shape. Seeing what we can do with it. There we are. Now that shape there's not looking good. Let's just do a quick undo. I'm glad I caught that, because otherwise it could have caused a lot of problems further down. So about there. I'm making a neck, isn't it? As you can tell, I very much enjoy mechanical modelling. There we are. That gives us that shape. Do another 2 connects in here. What I like is when it starts to just suddenly ping into shape, if you know what I mean. It's like, bam, suddenly it's working. And you're kind of, oh yes, at last the shape I wanted. Okay, that's good. Now in here. Okay. Now I want to narrow this shape a bit more, because it's still quite chunky. It's leaning over a bit too much, which I'm not too happy about either. So let's go to my left viewport and zoom. There we are. Just use some verts now to push it a little bit more. Keep this a nice smooth shape as well. this up a bit more. There we are. This can come into about here. Bring this down a little bit. I'm going to try and keep this shape kind of even as I can. There we are. And go in here. Another connect. Looking at my shape here, bring this one in. And this one. A little bit more of this one. There we are. Now over here, I'm going to bring that to about there and drop into here. Okay, that's good. Very happy with that shape now as it comes across. So in here, do an inset, 0.5 again, an extrude of 1. Right, now I want to do a bevel, and my bevel I'm going to do a height of 0 and an outline of 0.5. That'll make it the shape that I want here. And then I'm going to extrude it to about there. Now I'm going to take this and this and I'm going to inset it by about 0.5 and delete the inside polygons. And these polygons too. Right, now it's the bit where we have to get things to kind of line up a bit better. So if I look underneath, I'm going to target weld. I was about to say hinge from edge, but it's not. There we go. Left viewport. Okay, and just going to bring these down a little bit. And then bring these ones down a little bit. There we go. And back. Right, now for this part then, if I go straight through here, and I'm going to do a connect. Again, 2 parts. What I'm going to do is bring this one up a bit, and then I'm going to bring this part down, like so. And that gives a nice shape there. Now, I'm going to take this part here, and do an inset, 0.5 again. This time do an extrude by 0. And I'm just going to kind of bring that out a bit and up a bit like so. And just go here. Into about there. I'll just bring this out to about there. Okay, now I'm going to take these two and just bring them in like that. Okay, and if I just take these edges here and here, just line those up as well. And what I'm going to do now is just slowly bring these up in an extrude like so. Okay, that's fine. Now, I'm going to take these parts here and start molding them to the place that I want them. again, kind of darting around my model a lot. I'm just going to quickly nip through the middle here and do a connect. That's about there. Gives a nice shape, I think. Like that. Okay, now run some shapes, and what I'm going to do is get there and there. Model that nice and wide. There and there, model that a bit thinner. There we go. Yep, that's fine. Now, again, just kind of checking this shape here. Left viewport. Make sure I haven't got ignore back facing on this time because I kind of need it. Just smooth this shape up a bit. There we are. Okay, that's fine. What I'm going to do is just look over this shape again. I'm going to insert here. Do a small extrude in. Okay. Right, now I'm going to go to the actual kind of pylon piece here. Grow that a little bit more and then do an FFD. And just scale that in. Now I'm going to collapse that FFD and stick another one on. This time just a little bit higher up. Bring that in a little bit there. Gets a much nicer shape. Okay, and just collapse that down. Right, still quite a low polygon shape, but don't worry, we're going to spend some time on this one. So, I think the best thing to do is kind of come to a close on this, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye bye for now.